All right, so welcome everyone to our lower body strength balance class. I appreciate you meeting a little bit earlier so I could go have fun with my little one as well. So, today is our lower body strength and balance class. So as far as equipment, dumbbells, if you have those, if you have mini bands, resistance bands, those should be great. And if you have a chair, that'd be awesome too, because we will be utilizing that chair. I believe we might end up being on the floor as well, so a yoga mat to have handy would be great too. So right off the bat, we're gonna start with our Romberg stance. So Romberg stance, feet together, right here, right next to each other. And we're going to spend about just 20 seconds here. Hopefully, there's not any um, little limiting factors or pains or aches on your feet uh, for doing this stance and you're already feeling some tension or pain, then this is a pretty basic stance, so you might want to be taking it easy today. So hopefully things warm up. Let's look left to right. Up and down. And a nice neck stretch here. Also benefiting from just the movement throwing off our center of gravity slightly or equilibrium. Close your eyes. Okay, open your eyes. Let's go with the quad stretch. So grab your left ankle right above the ankle and pull back and stretch on that joint. And anytime we're on one foot, you might want to be next to an area uh, that has something you could hold on to. So it could be a wall, a chair, and of course, too, the easiest thing to do is just put down the other leg, and you don't want to keep holding onto your leg as you're falling down. You want to put it down. So let's switch. So again, we'll get some strength exercises going on with this one, but the balance component, it's usually more relaxed. So don't expect your heart rate to go too high up today. Heard it yesterday. Anyone sore from yesterday? Bring that leg down. All right. So just gonna go down the list. We're gonna start off pretty light. So we'll go ahead and do 2 rounds of our standing calf raises and heel walks. So just body weight here, and let's do 20. So heels off the ground, slowly up, slowly down. 20 of those. Keep going. Round 20. All right, and then now let's go ahead and walk on our heels. We're just walking on our heels for about 30 seconds. Just keep moving. Another 10 seconds of heel walks. time. All right. So we did this last time where we went up against a wall. We worked on our anterior tibialis. So if you could find me a nice clear wall, instructions. I'm just gonna lean here. Oh, let me back this up a little bit. I'm leaning back, resting. So all I'm gonna do is just raise my toes up and down. Okay, so give me 20 of those as well. You should feel this on the front part. Right, very good. Then now we're gonna do a toe walk. So let's get on our toes. So 30 seconds of toe walks, just on your toes. I might just keep this angle for some of the lower leg movements. About another 10 seconds. And time. So very good. We're gonna go with the tandem stance now, okay? So tandem stance, we're back on our feet here. So tandem stance, let's go right foot over left. Right foot over left. And we're just keeping our balance and attention to our ankles, make sure they don't fall over. And let's look left to right. And if you feel off center, then just correct your footing, but left to right. Up and down. So I mentioned that I think I twisted my ankle on Tuesday, and I could tell you right now, this stance is not the most comfortable. I could feel my left ankle feeling really weak on this one. Usually it feels like I just, a little bit of aching, but this one does make me feel it a little bit more, right? If you're safe, we're gonna close our eyes and separate your feet to a nice wider stance. And relax. Very good. Take a little water break. And let's switch shoes. I think these shoes that I'm wearing right now are done. They are I think about 8 years old, maybe 9. So I think it's time. I like them because they're comfy, but for support, they don't have that great support. So, all right. So this next set, we're gonna go with inside pointing in toe walks for the first round, and then also we're gonna do goblet lateral lunges. So for this one, just here, wide stance, drop, and then do the same. We're gonna do 5 on each side. And again, just so we're working on our abductor muscles. Okay, so abductors are the muscles on our side that allow our legs to go out. And then as we're also leaning, we're working on that groin. So we'll need a dumbbell for this one. If you're gonna grab a dumbbell, now's the time. And like I said, we're gonna start with our heel walks. So as we start, just get on your toes, but let's point your toes inside. So pigeon toed right now. Pigeon toed, pigeon toed. All right, very good. You'll break up that set by grabbing your dumbbell. So let's go. I believe we might have done these yesterday. So I want to do a variation of them. So I know we did walking lunges, we did lateral lunges. So for this one, let's go 45 degrees. So again, I like working the joints in all aspects that they're made to be moved. So I think, yeah, I think you guys could correct me, but I'm pretty sure we did lateral lunges. So we'll go 45 degrees this time, okay? So almost like the I forget the name. We did them the other day too. But diagonally, lunge, come back. And again, you see I'm pointing forward from my way out. It comes up. I'm not turning my torso because if I'm turning my torso each time, I'm just changing it into a regular walking lunge or forward lunge. Okay. Torso's nice and upright. So if your legs weren't sore already, they'll be sore hopefully after this class. But it's not high intensity. This is pretty low impact. That's one. All right. Very good. Okay. Now let's take a little bit of a rest. But the next one's going to be toes out. Okay. Toes out is next. Everyone's feeling okay? Not too bad.
I'm good.
All right. Yeah, it's not as we're not doing jumping jacks or anything like that, so this is a little bit slower. And it is early too, so let's go toes out. Let's just go toes out. Spending about 30 seconds here.
It's not too early for me. I have classes over the weekend at 6, so 7 is fine. Very
Oh,
fine.
when this right now you have a 6 a.m. weekend class?
Yes.
Oh, through Zoom?
Sorry?
Is it through Zoom or in person?
Oh no, it's just for the yoga classes.
Oh, okay. All right, so this is fine for you. Yeah, I gotta start getting ready because we start our morning practices again in about 10 days. So not this Monday, but the following Monday. And we start at 7. So and then I get out at 8:30 and I have to rush home because we have the Zoom classes here. So let's grab our weight. And we used to meet at 6 a.m. But yeah, we switched that. All right, second round right here. Ready, again. One. So we'll go with 6 on each leg. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 6. Very good. All right, the water break. And then we're gonna go with the tandem stance with the left foot in front of our right, but let's take a 30-second rest. Let's catch your breath. I think today might be my Father's Day, um, day of me getting spoiled. So I'm not sure Sunday will do too much, but I think today's gonna be Father's Day. Because I have donuts in a little bit. Then I might go get sushi. And then I think for dinner I'm meeting with my students that just graduated. So yeah, I'm gonna get a little pooch right here. So left foot in front of our right. Let's just stand here. Yeah, since I've been a dad now or father, every Father's Day celebration revolves around food. So yeah, it'll be fun. So again, just your left foot in front of our right. And just look up and down first. So when our feet are staggered like this, one in front of the other, the up and down um, look doesn't affect it as much. Left to right, and I feel like this one does affect it, just because our base is a little different than our side of. All right, relax, close your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. Okay, and then elevate that hind leg over here and just elevate it. You can go up and down to this little motion if you like, or you can just hold it steady. And then switch, because I forgot to do this for the other leg. So now our left leg comes back. Again, you can lift up and down or just hold steady. It's been nice not worrying about too much about running or lifting this week. The movements we do in this class are good enough. So awesome. Going through a lot of our balance work just now. All right, here we go. So next is one of our more taxing leg exercises, and that's going to be the round the clock single leg squat. So remember, we go 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, all the way around. So let's go ahead. We're going to do 2 circuits with the like two sets with a little bit of rest in between. So right leg is elevated, left leg is doing the work. So 12, 1, make sure this leg is coming down low. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Right, little break, let that left leg rest a little bit. So essentially right now you just did 12 single leg squats. Okay. Right leg now is going to be working. We're fixed. Left leg is elevated counterclockwise. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Good morning, Miss Newer. 6, 5, 4. This is a tricky one. 3, 2, 1. And rest. Okay, we're going to do 2 rounds of those. So let's take 30 seconds rest, grab some water. All right, here we go. So left leg is fixed, right leg is going around the clock. Ready? Begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Shake it off a little bit. All right, counterclockwise. Right leg is fixed. Let's go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10. All right, good stuff. Being efficient today. All right, this is where we need our chair, so just go ahead and grab your chair. Need that handy. Okay. I don't mind this one too much. So this one I am gonna ask you, if you want, totally optional, to do these barefoot. If you don't want to, then just make sure that the shoes you're wearing are flat. Otherwise, if they have like a rocker or kind of just move on their own sometimes, that's like when the shape of the bottom of the shoe is a little bit, it's not as flat and it's a little bit more curved. That could influence your movement on this one, okay? So, 2 options. We could go just standing here, or we could do single, almost like the round the clock movement. So one leg is elevated and then other leg is pushing. So I'll probably, just because of the way my ankle's feeling this week, I'll probably just do the stance with both feet. And then right after that, we're gonna do our ABCs in our right ankle and then repeat the circuit a second time. Okay. So if you're doing one leg at a time, give me 8. Well, actually, yeah, give me 8 and 8. If you're doing both feet, give me 15. All right, ready, begin. And I'm gonna go with both feet here. 4, 5, 6. This one will take a little bit longer. It's a slower movement. And I am asking for lots of reps. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Awesome. I'll wait for everyone else. Okay, give you another 10 seconds or so. Okay, right leg elevated. Ready, begin. So let's do our ABCs. All right, very good. Let's rest a little bit. Everyone's doing okay. All right, we're ready. Here we go. So 15 again, or 8 and 8. Okay, ready and go. Yeah, this time, right now I'm at 89 calories. This time, yesterday, I think we are like at 100 and like 50 or 60. At least I was. Um, but yeah, but you could see the burning about half as much as the jumping ones. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Very good. Elevate the left leg and start your ABCs. Yeah, ankle's a little tender today. I did run 4 miles yesterday, so maybe that's why. All right, folks. Good job. All right. So we have a couple sets left. We have 2 sets left. We have a standing set and then a set on the floor. Okay. So for the standing set, I am gonna ask you to grab your dumbbell. Okay. You can grab some water. So this is one of my new favorites for hamstring and also for balance. So this is where we are standing on one foot and then go down at the bottom, switch off, and then come back up and alternate, okay? If the motion of switching or being on one foot feels unsafe, then just swim on both feet and give me just regular Romanian deadlifts, which is slight bend at the knees. Hands come down, and then rise back up. And that's what you're doing. But if you're doing the single leg, then I would like for you to challenge yourself and switch the hand with the dumbbell, okay? If you're doing regular Romanian deadlifts, give me 12. If you're doing single leg, then 6, well, 6, 12 handoffs, okay? It would be kind of like 1 and 2, okay? So a total of 12. So we're gonna do 2 rounds. Ready? And you could always, if you want to do a variation, you can always put your hind foot behind, and that's kind of like a middle ground too. So, ready, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that one was a little bit more taxing than I thought. Okay. Standing Jane Fonda. We're going to work on the left side. Okay, so left side first. So we're doing 15. We're here and then just up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, give yourself a minute rest because that was pretty taxing on that right leg. Minute rest. All right, here we go. All right, so now our right leg is elevated or either stacked behind us. So again, a total of 12. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Oof, my hip didn't like that one. Feeling all beat up today. All right, 15 standing Jane Fondas or hip abductions on the right leg. So ready? Begin. So out, in. So I always had a hard time remembering the difference between abduction and adduction. It's just one letter difference. And I always got confused and I always try to do these little, little fun word tricks to remind myself what each one means. And yesterday I saw a really good graphic that, kind of helps what abduction is and what adduction is. So adduction with the D, so ADDUCTION. That's I just think about adding something to myself. So just kind of bringing in. So that's adduction. And then abduction would be the opposite. So kind of like pushing out. So this is abduction. So this is ABDUICTION. So yeah, just kind of things to remember the difference. So a little tricky. So we're going into our last set. Okay. So I think we are doing maybe like two, give me 1 second. We're doing about two less sets than usual, but I hope you're okay with that. I just gotta realize the time and have to shower and still look somewhat presentable for these donuts. So, all right, and we have two movements here. So we have our glute bridges. So we're gonna be here in the sit-up position, hands at our side, hips off the ground, squeeze the glutes, then back down, and again up, squeeze, and back down. That's gonna be our first movement, okay? So before I get ahead of myself, let's just go through that one first. And we're gonna do anywhere between 12 and 15. So if we're ready, here we go. 3, 2, 1, up, squeeze, down, relax, up, squeeze, down, relax. Just repeat that 15 times. When we reach our fifth one, I want you to focus on squeezing for an extra second for the rest of them, okay? So starting now, so up, squeeze, hold, and down. Okay, so the next 9 should be like that. Just a longer squeeze. Keep it going. Got about 3 more. Oof. Alrighty. Okay, so here we go with our core movement. So core movement, first, this is core and balance, but we're gonna go quadruped position. Okay, and this is where we go opposite arm, opposite leg. So we're just gonna work on the right arm and left leg on this one. So right arm comes up, left leg goes out straight, and then underneath, we're gonna meet the elbow to the knee and extend. So let's do 10 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, just relax a little bit. I like relaxing by bringing my hips back to my heels, dropping my head. All right, let's get back on our glute bridges. This is our last round right here. So let's go here on our side. Sit up position. Again, we're doing 15. The first 5 are a little bit more quicker, and the last 10, I want you to really squeeze. Okay? Ready, up, down. Five, right? And after 5, hold a little longer. Last one. Awesome. Okay. Last one here. So now we go left arm extended, right arm extended, elbow to knee. Okay. All right. How many calories? 140. Ready, extend, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job, everyone. Alrighty. How's everyone feeling? We stop that. So a little bit shorter today, but hopefully you folks are okay with that. Get your day started by 8 a.m. So any questions before we head out? Is everyone still there?
No, that was
Okay.
good.
Okay, yeah. I felt like it was just what I needed. I think if I sweated a little bit more, I was gonna not be happy. So yeah. But yeah, now I have I earned my donut. Just gotta make sure the donut's under 140 calories. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. All right, folks. Well, tomorrow at 9 a.m. So regular time. So Carmen, make sure we're meeting tomorrow. Okay. So everyone enjoy and appreciate you very much. Thank you so much again for coming
Enjoy
early.
your donuts.
Thank you.
Donuts.
Will
Happy
do.
Father's Day.
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. See you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye, folks. Take care.